Hello, my name is Gwen, and welcome to your practice. We'll enjoy a whole hour together today of some yummy somatic yoga. If you have a blanket and you'd like to use that as well as your bolster, or maybe you have a rolled up mat, whatever it is, we're going to do a waterfall pillow today. So take your blanket like this. Roll the top of the blanket just a wee bit. And so it acts like a waterfall. Comes right at the top. You butt your butt right up to the bolster and then unfurl the spine. Bring the roll right behind the back of the skull, just a wee bit, not so much into the neck region unless that feels delicious. So that the chin is in the direction of the heart center. It might not be the best photo op for our chin. So allow yourself to rest here and feel into a light little rock of the skull from side to side. Just a wee bit of settling in here. The knees can remain bent for a moment. You can press evenly into your feet and lift the seat. Lengthen the sit bones towards the heels and then lower. Arms by your side. If your lower back has any discomfort in it, any pinching, any burning, then you can place a rolled blanket, a folded blanket underneath the sit bones so that you're not in such an extreme restorative back bend. The knees will remain bent and you can heel toe your feet a little wider. Knees can knock. If there's a freedom in the back, in the lower back, in the back of the pelvis, then lengthen through one leg and then the other. Close those beautiful eyes and notice how you feel. Notice all the details. The breath, the body, the mind. As we start to close the doors to the outside world, what it took to get here on your mat, what's going on in your household, we welcome it all. And just feel into you, your you-ness right here. All the subtleties. Give the toes a little wriggle. And as we practice here together, explore. Just like you've landed in your body for the first time. We're going to bring a little yoga nidra into our breath work today. So how about 2 cleansing breaths before we start? Yoga nidra means wherever we bring our attention, it's a term, nidra, sleep, yogic sleep. So we're offering these areas in our body where we bring our attention and intention to rest and soften. Wherever your focus goes, the energy naturally, magnetically will flow. So on your next natural inhale, go ahead and invite it all the way in and up. A light little pause filled with breath. And then exhale it all out. A natural sigh. Inhale nice and full and deep. And come into the Ujjayi breath now. In through the nose and out through the nose. In through the nose, nice and full and deep. A light little pause naturally. Exhale through the nose. Ujjayi meaning victorious. So we cultivate this victorious feeling, this energetic quality from the inside out. This prana, a vital life energy that feeds us from temples to toes. A spark, a light, whatever your vocabulary is here. Notice that energetic quality as we breathe in and out through the nose. Keep it soft, subtle, and drop all your attention to the toes. Let them wriggle, a little dance of the toes. And then go ahead and roll the toes to one side. Like windshield wipers, over to the other. Notice the rounding of the heel. Those of you that frequent my yoga know that that's my favorite part of the body. That beautiful rounding of the heel. Press into it, let it roll from side to side. And then let the feet splay outward. Notice the soles of the feet, the top of the feet, and any vibration. Then send the toes up towards the ceiling. Curl the toes down like you're holding a pencil without too much struggle. And then relax. Let them dance, 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 and then soften. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose or the mouth. Let's follow that line from the heel up through the Achilles and down through the calf. Let's stamp the calf down into the mat, a little press, and then you release and soften. Feel for a moment into the knees. Feel that psychic hand without moving, gently cradle the back of the knees. It'll feel like a lift and then a lowering. Thank the knees. Send it a little appreciation, a little love, a little attention. And then go ahead and roll your attention all the way into the upper thigh. The toes point up. We'll feel the top of the thigh. 4 beautiful muscles that work beautifully together, like a family. Go ahead and press into the quadriceps, down into the femur bone, down into the hamstrings, downward. Activate and stimulate, and then soften. As the body softens, notice what you feel from one leg to the other. Maybe a temperature change, a frequency change. What was that effect in your body? Take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose, as the focus today of our practice is pause, witness, and unwind. So as we pause here, witness how the legs from one to the other might sense and feel this unwinding quality, a letting go, a softening. And then softly come into the seat, into the sit bones. Without too much effort, go ahead and take the sit bones, let them draw towards each other to feel like a lift, and then you lower. As you unwind, notice what you feel from the lower belly down into the lower lumbar sacral spine as the muscles around the sit bones start to loosen their grip. Take a deep inhale in through the nose as we pause and witness and unwind this part of the body. Then go ahead and sweep your attention all the way up the back body where we're nestled into our support here of this heart bed. The shoulders drape down. The arms are heavy. Go ahead and focus now your attention on the shoulders. The tips of the shoulders on your next breath, carry them up towards the ceiling, towards each other. Notice the hands, the arms, as the shoulders come towards each other and you pause. And then slowly the shoulders come away from each other and drape a little more. Take a deep breath into that heart center. A deep breath out. Float your awareness down the arms to the heaviness of the elbows, to the lightness of the fingertips. Draw one finger into the palm at a time, slowly. Notice if you can, or do they all want to come in at the same time? A little squeeze, and then soften that effort. Notice how you feel as the body starts to relax through a little attention. We're going to wring out the arm fibers now by drawing one palm down and let one palm remain up. And then again, roll and alternate sides. One palm rolls down while the other palm rolls up. Feel what the thumbs are doing. Let one press into the floor, the other press into the floor. Feel into the shoulder. Invite it to the party. Let it move. One shoulder will come down while the other comes up. Wring out those arm fibers just like this. Wringing out, cleansing any deep-seated exhaustion we find in the shoulders. Let this next one be your last one. Roll the knuckles, heavy palms upward and take a breath. Exhale it all out. Float your awareness all the way up into the facial tissues. Give a little squeeze around the mouth, the eyes, the forehead. You'll squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the facial tissues and then relax that effort. Feel into the melting quality of the muscles around the eyes, the mouth, as any tension, known or unknown, starts to dissolve and melt away. Each exhale, that pure intent to pause, witness, and unwind here. One more breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And then flutter the eyes open. Go ahead and bend up one knee and drag the heel and plant that foot. And then the other. You're going to roll over to the side into a fetal position. A little light housekeeping here now. Go ahead and clear the runway. Take the bolster off to the side, whatever you were laying on, off to the side. We'll need it later, so go ahead and bring it off to the side. Come into a body scan, either bent knee or go ahead and lay nice and flat on the floor. Knuckles heavy, either knees bent, heel toe them wide, toes inward. Come into a constructive rest by allowing the inner knees to knock, or lengthen through one leg and then the other. Wherever you find yourself, eyes are closed. Witness now from the inside out once again. Notice the heels, the sit bones, and the back of the shoulders, all the way to the back of the skull. Notice the evenness or unevenness of these places, the skeleton. As we breathe here together, feel your imprint on the mat. Is one side of your body heavier than the other? Is it even? What are you sensing and feeling? And one more breath just like this. Exhale it all out. We're going to come into what's called body yawn. So let this feel like a nice yawn. We'll start by bending our knees. You'll take the press into the left foot, just slightly tilts the pelvis. So the right leg will come closer into the belly. Go ahead and capture it and give it a little hug into the belly. Cross it over that left leg. And from here, nice and easy, bring the left hand down your left side. It's now your wedge support, a braking system. So wedge it right underneath the torso. The thumb might be underneath the tush, that left side of the body. And then allow the body to rock over to that hand. And notice how the arm helps. If you're in any discomfort, this is how we can build a little trust. Let the legs fall over to the comfort of that hand. Maybe you move it outward a wee bit. This is where the play is on this side. So allow the body to play. Maybe a little more. You have a large range of motion. The targeted area, the lower back here. So if you have any discomfort in the lower back, please feel supported by that left arm. Then once you feel that, okay, I can work just like that, this feels perfect, then let that be, and we'll come to the start with the lower half. So let the legs come right back to center. And now the right arm comes in a cactus shape. Some of you, this might not be available. You might have to build the floor to you. So you can bring a pillow under the arm. You don't want it to hover up anywhere. Or you might want to bring a blanket under the arm. And so you can bring this arm in any angle from the body. It can be upward, outward, maybe a little lower for your shoulder. Find where you'd like to practice. And then once you have that arm supported, bring all your attention to that right arm. Take a deep breath. Reach it in whatever angle you have it and let the head roll in that general direction. Take up plenty of space like a yawn. And then drag the elbow back, head back to center. 2 more times just like that. The arm will reach outward, head rolls in that general direction, and then backward. 1 more time. Come all the way back to your center. And we'll bring it all together now. So body yawn is so nice for the whole entire body to integrate. So go ahead and take a deep inhale. As you exhale, let the legs fall over to your support. Take a breath and reach that arm up, nose points in that general direction. And then go ahead and come all the way back to start. You might want to continually move or pause there for a breath or two. Yogi's choice. You can take a deep inhale. As you exhale, the legs can fall over maybe to a new place. Maybe the arm comes a little tighter into the body or a little further away. Reach through that right arm. Head rolls in that general direction like a yawn. And then drag that elbow back home or maybe to a new location. Have some fun here. Take a deep breath. Exhale the legs over and feel into that lower spine. Reach and roll the head in the direction of that arm. You can pause there for a breath or two. It might feel delicious. Or maybe you come all the way back. Wherever you are, maybe 1 more. Breathing, moving, and enjoying the subtleties of your practice. We pause, witness, and unwind here. Then go ahead and reach the arms for that top leg. Give it a light little hug into the belly and place it onto the floor. Press into it and let the other leg come all the way back into the belly. Cross it over the right. Take the left hand up in a cactus shape. And maybe this side comes down further, or maybe it doesn't. So find where you need to practice today. And then that right arm, other side, go ahead and take it a little closer into the tush. The thumb might come right underneath. Maybe a small range of motion is just what the doctor ordered here. Just a little rock. Perfect. Or maybe you play and you bring it out a little further. Feel into your body where you're at. Maybe it's between those two for you. Notice how you feel. Discover where you need to work today on this side. Each side of your body, we're careful not to make it the same, so treat it as a good friend with total respect. And then come on over to the upper half here. Reach the arm either upward or outward. Head rolls in that general direction. And then all the way back. Again, notice how you feel. Maybe this side we're a little bit sensitive on. Maybe we're a little more careful, mindfully moving all of our attention, like watching a good movie here. Take a deep breath. Exhale it all out. On the next natural inhale, exhale the legs over to your support. Reach that left arm up. Let the nose roll in that general direction. Pause there for a breath or two, or gently come all the way back to your center. You might want to pause there. Or maybe it feels super nice to gently come in and out of this one. Feel where your body would like to work today in this moment. Every time we come into body yawn, a little different exploration. So explore. Let yourself be curious. Notice. Feel into the heightened sensations. Notice the fluidity in your body. Body yawn is a twist. So we wring out. Targeted area, that lower belly, lower spine, outer hips. So how about one more breath here? Integrating the whole body from temples to toes. And then go ahead and pause. Reach the arms for that top left leg. Clasp a hold for a light little hug into the belly. And let the feet come down into the mat. We're going to leave the knees bent for a bent knee body scan. Heel toe your feet wide. Let the toes come inward and have the inner knees knock like a lean-to. Allow the hands to rest on the lower belly, one on the upper belly, one on the lower belly. Feel how the belly rises and falls here as we breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. In through the nose and out through the nose. Feel into the lower spine. As we breathe like this, feel into the outer hips, a broadening and a widening, a wrapping quality. From the hips all the way to the back of the shoulders. From one shoulder to the other. To the middle of the brain. Take a dive through the brow to where you think the middle of the brain is. Let your attention rest there for a moment. This command center. Allow it a little time to sort and register what's just occurred. Nice deep inhales and exhales, any which way the body would like to breathe here. A little rock at the back of the skull. Hands come down to the mat. Knees come away from each other. Press into the feet a wee bit. Roll the sit bones up. Carry them over to one side while you roll over to the other. In fetal position. From here, take that front hand and press it into the mat. The other hand comes in and let yourself come all the way up. As you come up, we're going to come to our props. We need our props. So whatever you were laying on at the start, build your heart bed once again. We're coming into somatic pigeon. So here you might need your blanket on top of the bolster, maybe lay it flat without the waterfall pillow. You can, I'm starting on my right side, so I'm going to butt the bolster right up to my right thigh. If you can come into pinwheel or deer pose, you yinsters will know that, then you can bring the right foot into that left thigh. Not to worry about if you can get there seated. We'll get there laying down. It might be a little easier for you. So butt the bottom of whatever you're laying down on right up to that thigh, and then frame the hands on either side and look down. It'll feel like the nose is pointing down. The heart is facing downward. And then feel where the elbows are. Are they pointed out? Go ahead and magnetically point them towards each other. It'll feel like you're holding on to the bolster, like it's framing the bolster. And then bend the elbows like they're pointing down, down, down to the bottom of the mat, and tap the nose. Then up. So yogi push-ups here. Each time you come down, lengthen the spine, tap a little taller, and then up. This third time down, surrender. Let the ear, temple, or cheek come down. Let the hands and arms come down. And notice what you notice. The elbows are coming out from the shoulders, just a wee bit, like weights. Some of you will crawl the fingers up, and some of you will keep them close in if you're in a lot of discomfort, a lot of pain in the shoulders. This might be enough. Let it be enough. Close the eyes and feel how the shoulder blades can come away from the spine. Each breath you feel up into the back heart center, the back of the shoulder blade area. The leg that's closest to the bolster, that right leg, feel that foot. And then nestle this back leg, the top leg, the left one, into the sole of the foot, any place. Notice how that feels in the back of the pelvis. Once again, the targeted area, that lower spine. We're going to come into the lower half now. So take a deep inhale. As you exhale, press the foot into that thigh, and the thigh presses into the foot, and then relax that effort. As you soften, notice the area of the pelvis that starts to unwind, unravel. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, maybe a 4% press, not so heavy. and then you relax and soften. As you soften, 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 feel. Take a few deep breaths and notice. And then one more just like that. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, maybe only a 1% press, very soft press, and then you relax. Maybe you're noticing that if we go a little lighter, your body lets go a little more. Relax through the jaw, let it slacken. Feel that power within you to let go. Some of you might like to lift the head. On your next inhale, you can lift the head and bring the opposite cheek down, ear down, temple. If that doesn't feel good for you, on your next breath, just simply inhale up and bring it all the way back. We're careful not to fling out of any of these poses. Deliberately moving, full control. Come into your breath for a handful of breaths here. Eyes are closed. Notice how you feel. Where can you relax a little bit more? The shoulders drape. The pelvis sinks down a little more. The legs soft. Soles of the feet receiving. Nice and soft. One more breath just like that. On your next natural breath, drag the hands underneath the shoulders, hug the elbows towards each other, press into the thumb, the first finger, and let the head hang. Roll up. Bring your back to the bolster, to the cushion, the rolled mat, whatever we have here. Lengthen through one leg and paddle the foot. Lengthen through the other and paddle. A little paddle, a little paddle. And then we'll go ahead and we'll come on over to the other side. So go ahead and take that left thigh all the way in. So other side. The foot can come on to the back thigh. Frame the bolster when you're ready. Hug the elbows towards each other. Feel the first finger and the thumb. Notice how you bend the elbows and tap the nose up and down. Can it tap a little higher each time as the spinal column grows through the palate, through the crown? This next time, surrender down. Cheek, temple, or ear. Hug the elbows in or away. Crawl the fingers up. Allow the elbows to rest down. And as you lay in this beautiful pose, feel for a moment. Notice the upper half. Allow it to become happy. Go where it feels better. Then relax through the jaw. And then feel the leg that's closest to the bolster. Take that top leg and place the thigh into the foot. And we'll come into the lower half somatically in a little subtle movement. A little press, a little release. So take a deep breath here, no hurry. On your next breath, you can give a little press of that thigh into the foot, foot into the thigh. Notice the muscles that are engaged, contracted, and then soften that squeeze. Notice that softening start to radiate outward in all directions as the body receives the information. It's as important to rest as it is to move. So go ahead and give a nice little squeeze of the foot into the thigh, thigh into the foot. Activate those muscles. And then soften, soften, soften. And notice how you feel. And how about one more time at your own comfortable pace? You'll take the foot into the thigh, thigh into the foot. A little press. And then soften. Take a deep inhale. A deep exhale. Allow yourself to come into this pose nice and softly now. Some of you might like to take the head up on your next inhale and roll it over to the other side if that feels delicious. If it doesn't feel good here for whatever reason, on your next natural breath, you'll lift and bring it all the way back to your starting. Breathe into your back body as the jaw slackens a little more. Feel that deep relaxation come down into the pelvis as we soften that sciatic nerve pathway a little more, a little more. Feel the legs. Notice the weight, the soles of the feet. And 3 more breaths here. Not to worry, I'm the timekeeper. Allow the body to breathe here. A deep inhale and exhale. Soften, soften, soften. And 1 more breath. And from there, you'll gently, softly drag the hands below the shoulders, hug the elbows in. Let the head nice and heavy. Press yourself up, up, up. Bring your legs out. Lengthen. Paddle the toes. Take your bolster off to one side, your cushion, and come nice and flat on the ground. Come into a brief body scan. Wriggle the toes. Rock the head from side to side. Feel where the arms are, and maybe they come out a little bit more away from the body to allow the shoulders to sink down. And now witness here for a moment as we pause and notice the heels, the back of the legs, the sit bones to the lower spine, mid-spine to the shoulders, a little rock of the skull from side to side. Then take a deep inhale. Exhale. Ha. Go ahead and bend up one knee. Let it drag and plant that foot. Other side. Press into the feet. Let your hips come on over to one side. We're going to roll right over to our bellies. So some of you, when we roll over to our belly, will need something underneath the pelvis. So feel into your body. Once you come down to your belly, stack the hands, one on top of the other, elbows out. Feel the forehead rest on that stack. Notice the back, the lower back. Is it okay here? Or do you need to bring a folded blanket underneath the back of the hips like this? If that's you, then please do. So take care of yourself where you are. We're going to come into what's called swimming shoulders. So take the forehead now into the mat. Hands, palms down underneath the shoulders. Press into the top of the feet and feel into the activation as the knees come up. Notice the lower spine is splinted. And then relax and soften. You can come into that anytime. If that lower back needs a hand here, press into the top of the feet. You might feel an activation as you send the heels downward and the top of the feet upward, like you're dragging them towards you. So wherever you are, you can rest that or keep it going. The head can come up just a wee bit. Send one shoulder forward and pull the opposite one back. Alternate between sides. And then close the eyes and feel into this movement. Does it feel fluid-like? Continuous? Like an elliptical? Might feel like you're swimming. Like one shoulder comes forward and then down and then the other. And what is the head doing? Is it rigid or is it moving from side to side? Please let it. And then the opposite direction. Gracefully find that fierce grace to move in the opposite direction. And then pause. Let the shoulders, both shoulders come forward and then back. Up towards the ceiling, forward, down, and back. Like we're doing fly. Or this might feel like breaststroke for some of you. So 2 or 3 is plenty. And then the other direction, notice what it feels like. You might be going through a lot of discomfort here or a little bit of discomfort. Pain is not an option. Any burning, any pinching, electric feeling. And then we'll pause. Stack the hands, forehead on top of that stack, toes in the direction of each other. Wriggle the hips from side to side and rest that forehead on top of the stack. Notice how you feel. Come into a little stillness here. And we have one more here. So this one's more about the shoulder blades. They're going to feel like they're going laterally in and out, maybe. So go ahead and bring the forehead onto the mat. Press into the top of the feet or let it rest. Head rises. Shoulders will come away and then back in towards each other. Away from each other and then back into each other, like you're squeezing the spinal column. As they come away, the head can come down As they come towards each other, you might tap the chin or it comes close to the floor. Notice this action. And then roll onto your back when you feel complete. Come into your Shavasana now. Full Shavasana. So maybe you use the blanket as a blanket. On the lower belly, if you're really super warm, and the top of the legs, or maybe the whole entire body. The eyes close, arms by your side. Notice the vibration, the frequency in your body. As you settle in, you might take the bolster underneath the knees, the thighs. Come into your Shavasana. Final resting pose. Keep it simple. Eyes close. Muscles around the eyes soften. Jaw slackens. Feel that deep relaxation spread as the muscles loosen their grip. Let go of so much that you feel wide open like the sky here. Very still. Undefended. Feel what you're made of. And deepen through the breath. Allow the awareness to start to move inward once again into your new normal. The toes can wriggle, the fingers. A nice long, luxurious stretch. Arms can come above the crown, reach. If you have a bolster underneath the legs, you can press the feet into it or bend the knees and press into the floor. Drag the hips to one side and rest in fetal position on your side body. Take a moment on your side body. Feel that psychic hand come and give you a pat on the back. for simply showing up, giving yourself this gift of presence. Connect to that inner grin here. This is your true power. The corners of your mouth might curl up and all that warmth flood in. This self-love, this kindness. We allow this to spill into our life. When you're ready, give a press into the earth here, the floor. Let the head remain super heavy. And then roll the spinal column up when you're ready to a comfortable seated position. The knees don't have to bend. If the wall's there, please lean into it. It's a beautiful thing. Find your comfortable seat. I usually have a blanket underneath my sit bones, right on the edge, so that I come forward and then back. So there's less effort to stay seated. And if you need 2 blankets too, or maybe it's a book and then a blanket over those books, whatever it is, feel the lengthening from the sit bones all the way up the spinal column, through the palate, through the crown, nice and tall. Take a breath and feel the earlobes over the shoulders, shoulders over the elbows, elbows over the hips, thereabouts. It never has to look like that. Just allow it to feel like that. Just a light little pause here as we witness the effects of our practice. Go ahead and let the palms come together in that deep appreciation for yourself for showing up. Feel that warmth, this loving kindness that you've generated toward yourself. Thumbs at the sternum with a light little press of support. Take a deep breath into all that support that's all around you. Light little bow here. Send this goodness out as loving kindness to all beyond these walls. Namaste. And thank you for your practice.